My name is Trish, and I want to talk to you about garden planning, seed organizing and ordering, and seed starting. So where I'm at right now, it is the end of February. I'm in Garden Zone 5A in the United States, central Wisconsin. My last frost date for my specific area is May 10th. So that's about 10 weeks away. This is a good time to start some seeds, especially ones that take a long time to germinate, where they need a longer growing season. And since I have a fairly short growing season here in 5A, I like to start some things much earlier. Garden plan. It is not essential, but it is very, very helpful. I've been gardening for about 4 years. I'd say the past 2 or 3 years, I've really learned a lot, and the garden plan has really helped me. A lot of the time we can get kind of overwhelmed or even just excited about the gardening season that we can buy more seeds than we need, varieties of things that maybe we wouldn't usually like or our family won't eat up. I like to come up with a plan so I know how much space I have, how many plants I'll need in that space. I can go through the seeds I have or ask around for certain seeds, and then I know what to order. I have a bullet journal that I've been keeping pretty much like my hard copy, like my rough draft of the garden and my plan, and that has been super, super helpful. So I will show you pages in my bullet journal that I use often and reference to all the time. Let it grow. So these are the essential things that I'm growing and why, so I can have a plan down the road once they come to fruition. So things that I have to grow, my must grow things for either, food, fresh eating, preserving, special occasions that might be coming up. These are my staples that I must grow. So pumpkins, green beans, peas, corn, carrots, onions, strawberries, apples, bell peppers, other peppers, tomatoes, broccoli, garlic. And then I have some seasonings and herbs that I'm also going to be growing too that are a must grow. Cilantro, chives, oregano, thyme, rosemary, sage, parsley, basil, ginger, turmeric, poppy seed, and elderberry. Now, some of those things are not going to be started from seed. Some of those things are going to be purchased from like a nursery or something like that, but I have them on my list. Then I have a list of things that I want to grow for fun. So they're either new varieties that I've never tried, more ornamental things like flowers and grasses that I want to grow for special occasions, and also to keep me motivated when we're in like the dog days of summer. I'm tired, I'm hot, things are going wrong, things are going out of control, the slugs and rabbits are eating everything. Then I have a few things sprinkled within my garden that really help keep me enthusiastic about it and motivated. So this is more like my container garden and what I call my sunset border. So it's the very back line of my property, and then the pots that I have around the front and the back. So things like dahlias, celosia, hot peppers, lemon balms, snapdragons, calendula, Swiss chard, and mint, eggplant, possibly, echinacea, coneflower, thyme, poppies, I think I already said. I'm gonna try and grow a cherry tree, sunflowers, spinach, hellebores, hyacinth, ivy, arborvitae, roses, and lavender. At the list of my plants, I am going to draw up a rough draft of my garden spaces. I like to create different zones. It helps you when it comes into like when the garden kind of starts getting out of control. If you have things broken up in different zones, you can tackle them on different days, actually still be able to get it all done. I have my container gardens, and that is its own zone. I have the recipes written up so that I know how many plants that I'm gonna want and where. I have what I call my fresco beds. So I have 8 raised beds that I built last year. They are roughly 2 by 4. The L's are 4 by 4 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, and they're about 12 inches deep, so 12 inches off of the ground. I have a rough draft of what the beds look like, what I have in each bed. I know because I've gardened in the same spot year after year. I know what the sun is like during the summer and the early spring, so that I can plan accordingly the correct crops that I should be growing in there. So I've got the garden beds. I've written out what I want to grow in each bed, roughly. I can switch these things out for other things that require the same amount of sunlight if I want to, but this just gives me a rough draft. When you start gardening and seed starting and things are moving fast, sometimes you can feel a little fluttery or like you need to like pull yourself back in. So that's why I like to have a plan. It's not in concrete. It's, you know, it can definitely change, but it's so helpful to have this and a reference. So when I do plant things, I can make notes or whatever, and then I can look back after the garden season is over and see what worked, what didn't, what was there, you know, in case a label gets moved or something. And so it's just really helpful to have just that rough draft. But I've also been writing down things that I'd potentially buy from a nursery, about how much they cost in like a quart or a gallon, the rough estimate, how many I would need, and then I have a cost breakdown. I have given myself a budget this year for gardening, so I would really like to stick to it, and it's helpful to know kind of what the average cost is, and then as I see sales and things come up, I know I'm getting a good deal. Instead of like when you're at the store doing the research, it's just nice to have it all in my bullet journal. This is super awesome to do in the wintertime when you're craving that garden, because then you're just like so much more prepared when you hit the stores or hit the websites to get them done. So yeah, I've just made lists of things, plants that I want to purchase to develop different parts of my garden, and the budget. The next thing, after you figure out what you want to grow, where you want to grow it, you can go to your seeds. In the past, I've organized my seeds in this awesome tin, like index catalog organizer. These are super cool. I love them so much. You can fill it up with stickers and stuff. They are not cheap. I mean, you might be able to find them for fairly inexpensive at like a garage sale or something, but I have found that they're roughly $10 to $15 for this size in my area. So as I purchase more of these, I've just been using these super cute little boxes. They're at Dollar General. Big ones are $5. I mean, it's big and it's deep. Big ones are about $5. I've got a couple more. The small one was $2, and then this medium size was $3 or $4. And they're neat because they are like, oops, I'm about to peel off the top. They're magnetic, they open, they've got a little flap. Obviously they're not waterproof. I am not somebody who lugs out my whole seed thing in the container. I will just stick it into my like little garden tool belt. So if that's a concern you have, I would suggest getting a metal one. The only thing is I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody, but I've been seeing a popular rise in these plastic CD cases that fit seeds really well. And I understand that need for organizing your seeds and stuff, but I would just really encourage you to consider either buying it pre-owned, so finding someone on Marketplace that is selling their CD case organizer, or finding a more eco-friendly version, steel paper products and stuff that you can purchase, either previously owned or paper products that you could compost or recycle. It's just with gardening, there's already a ton of plastic waste, and although it's a helpful trend, I just, if you can choose a different option, or if you can find it already pre-owned, I would encourage you to go down that route. Just saying. What I like to do is I've made my list of my must grow, my list of my more ornamental, fun to grow things. I'll go through my seeds and actually look through what I have, cross off the things I already have, so then I know what I can order. I like to order seeds from Baker Creek. I also like to order seeds from Etsy. Swallowtail Seeds is really cool. I feel like that's an underrated seed company, is Swallowtail Seeds. Otherwise, no doubt you can go to a store, any of your home improvement stores like Home Depot, Menards, Farm and Fleet, And I also like our local nursery. Jung's has a really large selection of seeds to buy too. So once you've gotten your seeds, you can organize them in your containers. I have a lot of seeds, so I have multiple containers. I have my big metal one that has all of my seeds in it. And then I like to use these other two for the seeds that I'm growing for the year. So this is my, for the 2022 spring and summer season, are these seeds. So I don't have to go through my big organizer. I can go through just the one box. After you've gotten your seeds, you've got your bullet journal, garden layout roughly written up, your list is written up, you can go through your packets and familiarize yourself. I know this seems daunting. Try and find the beauty in it, or just make it quickly and as efficient as you can. There's just so many different varieties. You want to make sure you're following the instructions true to the variety you purchased. So go through each of your packets, and what I did was I printed out just a free calendar online or in your bullet journal. So you go through each packet, figure out if you're starting it, the dates. I put up these so I wrote it all down and I gave myself like a 2-week window of each thing. You'll notice that things say start indoors 8 to 10 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost date. And so I've grouped those things and split them up into different little flags and put them every other day within that 2-week window. Now, if you have the space and the grow lights, you can absolutely start these things earlier. If you have a high tunnel that's heated and double layered, you can definitely start seeds earlier than this. This is more as a guideline for kind of the average backyard gardener and homesteader to kind of go through. Another way you can organize yourself on your calendar for seed starting is to write the transplant days or the outdoor direct sow days. So putting a flag on certain seeds that you want to start indoors, outdoors, and things that can be transplanted at a different time in the spring. More cold tolerant plants. You can even go as far as going until the end of the year or till the end of the growing season and what should be ready to be harvested when, so you can kind of gauge out, if you like to preserve or can, when the weeks are going to be that you're going to be doing a lot of that. You can go as far as that, but this is just the basics that I'm starting out with in the long cold days of winter and dreaming about spring. I did start some seeds already. I'm so excited. I have been able to start celery, onion, lavender, strawberry, dill, snapdragon, salvia, a vanilla pom-pom dahlia, and a ruby gem dahlia, pansies, jalapenos, mini snacking bell peppers, large bell peppers, and echinacea, a sunset blend from my own seeds that I collected, and then yellow and purple ones. They are already up and germinating. I was getting kind of worried on a few of them, like the pansies and stuff, but I think I see one pansy up, and the snapdragons finally popped up. So, and it's only been about, I think it's been less than a week. So I'm actually going to pot on the dahlias today. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. Get your garden planned, get your seeds ordered, have an amazing rest of the winter. Only a few more short weeks until we're going to be outside gardening. I'm not kidding you, it's gonna come up fast. Jimmy the groundhog said we're having early spring, so I'm gonna hold him to it. If you like my vibe, be sure to like and subscribe. Okay, take care. Have a good one. Okay. Bye. See ya.